Security, availability, and the reliability are highly interrelated because severe security incidents often lead to downtime. In other words, maximizing uptime requires minimizing security issues that could cause downtime. Some metrics discussed in this section are basic IT operation metrics such as uptime, system recovery, and change control. Planned downtime is the total amount of time that resources were out of service due to regular maintenance. Unplanned downtime is the total elapsed time related to unexpected service outage. Uptime is the total time for a given period minus any unplanned downtime. Mean unplanned outage length is the total number of unplanned outages divided by the number of outages. Median unplanned outage length is the length of the outage halfway between the shortest and the longest outage. Mean time between failures calculates the average amount of uptime between the unplanned outages. It is the total uptime divided by the number of outages. All these metrics seems quite straightforward, but calculating uptime, downtime, and revenue generation cost is more of an art than a science, because the overall scope of assets that they cover isn't simple. Uptime statistics for critical assets are easy to calculate when the asset is a single system, but are harder to calculate for complex environments. To calculate the overall weighted uptime for an IT environment is still a challenge. System recovery metrics add more texture and depth to availability metrics. They flesh out not the question of how often systems go down, but the level of resilience in an enterprise response to outages. Here, we highlight a few important metrics. The support response time measures how long it takes an organization to recognize a security outage and initiate support activities. Mean time to recovery, MTTR, identifies the amount of time required to restore operations to inoperable resources once this activity starts. Both metrics are straightforward to calculate, but require the operations staff to keep disciplined start-stop logs or timesheets. Related to the actual recovery efforts are disaster recovery planning activities. Most businesses with critical assets implement disaster recovery plans to ensure business continuity in the event of a severe system outages. These plans, of course, encompass much more security-related outages, such as natural disasters. That said, the degree to which an organization regularly performs walkthrough or dry run of its disaster recovery plans serves as an important indicator of disaster readiness. Businesses that actively walk through their plans will probably be better equipped to deal with a security incident. A critical component of any effective security program is the process used to manage changes to the configuration of the environment. Security standards and configuration change management share a natural affinity. If it is easy to affect an information system production environment, it is often easy to change its security state as well. Three key metrics can help organizations understand the degree of change control and organization processes. All of them assume the organization keep track of changes to production systems. First matrix, the number of production changes. Second, the number of exceptions. Third, the number of unauthorized changes or violations. These metrics are typically tracked on the per-period basis, and for additional insights, they can be sliced by business unit or technology area. The latter two, exemptions and violations, are related. An exemption represents a change that was granted for exceptional reasons and required implementation outside of normal maintenance hours. Emergency fixes and other out-of-cycle changes require exemptions. Unauthorized changes, also known as violations, measure the number of changes that were applied without approval. This number obviously should be as close to zero as possible.